Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pillar to Post, and we got your SmackDown report right here. Now, I've got a lot of news to talk about, but I'm going to save one of the most important bits of news for my Thursday podcast, where we speak about the news, rumors, and all the interviews and stuff that's going on in WWE at the moment. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell are you doing wearing that damn toque? It's damn summertime. Well, this is a beanie, I should say. Now, I want you to get a very good close-up shot of this. This is new merchandise from the Circle of Steel merchandise, and you can get this directly from me because that is the only way it's available. Take a really good close at that stitching. Yes, this is embroidered, people. Very beautiful work done by my man at the End Zone here in Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. Great work he does. He does all my merchandise that I sell. Now you can also find stuff on my my Teespring Stores, and there are 2 links to that. I did update them. They do work, and you can find a Pillar to Post store, which has only got 1 t-shirt at the moment, and it is the old logo. That is there for you. You can also find my Circle of Steel merchandise there as well. You won't find this hat there, but there is a lot of great t-shirts and designs in there that you will enjoy for your Circle of Steel merchandise and your Pillar to Post. But very big news here for Pillar to Post, and I do want to shout this out first, but I have to draw up my papers or my notes here before I get going into it. So I do apologize for being a little bit tardy, but here we go. My first sponsor, and they are supporting this channel every time you use the link I give you. Make sure you use it. It helps this channel greatly, and it helps out Audible. So today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial using the link audibletrial.com/Pillar to Post. Now they have over 200,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You can be at the gym, you can be out fishing, you can be camping, you can be out for just a long car ride, or simply sitting at the park relaxing. You have the option to have a book read to you. You don't want to use your hands, or your hands are busy. Hell, you can be doing the dishes in the kitchen. Doesn't matter. You have the option to have a book read to you, and this offer is good for one time only for all subscribers and viewers here on Pillar to Post. So, here's the great deal though. If you don't think you want to stick it out for your free 30-day trial, you do have the option to cancel it after you download your free audiobook. They give you that option. Now, they don't take back the audiobook simply because you chose not to continue your membership with Audible. They allow you to have that free audiobook. Just hoping that you will give them a chance. And believe me, they are worthy of taking a chance upon. You have 30 days free to check out what they offer you. So take advantage of that. And today I get to announce the new sponsor of Pillar to Post, and I am very happy to be connected with these people. I've checked out their merchandise that they have been offering, and they do boxes. Now, I know everyone here on YouTube enjoys opening up their merchandise boxes, such as Loot Crate and all that. This is something I am ordering as soon as it's available, and it will be available soon. Grapple Merch. Grapple Merch is the new sponsor here on Pillar to Post. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to check them out. Visit grapple.bigcartel.com, and when you use this link or this code, when you're at the ordering, when you're like ready to cash out, your cart, when you're ready to cash out, use this code, Pillar to Post 77, all in lowercase and then 77 the numbers. You receive a discount courtesy of Pillar to Post and grapple.bigcartel.com for wrestling memorabilia such as t-shirts, autographed photos, WWE Elite Wrestling figures, and they do the Grapple Box. Now, they have a new one coming out very soon. It's called Grapple Box for Elite. Okay, when this becomes available, that will be my first purchase for Grapple merch. I want you, and I want to stress this out very, very much. Every time you guys use my code, Pillar to Post 77, it helps this channel out. And this channel is in desperate need of help because of the adpocalypse that has taken place and a foothold here on YouTube. Okay? I'm not asking, I'm not telling, I'm not demanding you do it. I just want you simply to check them out. And if you like what you see, please use my code. And I get a little kickback for it, and it helps this channel out. Because everything that you guys help with this channel goes towards improving the channel. So remember, audibletrial.com/pillar to post. That'll get you your free audiobook and 30-day free membership. And using the code at Grapple merch, actually it's grapple.bigcartel.com, and you use this code when you're ready to cash out, Pillar to Post 77. This will get you a discount. Now, they didn't tell me exactly yet what the discount will be. I'm going to be staying in contact with the representative, and I'll get you that information for tomorrow's episode on NXT. Okay? Check these guys out. Now, I'm setting up the description a little bit different. I've got my sponsors separated so you can find it a lot easier when you're looking. So the audibletrial.com link is there below, as well as the Grapple merch link is there below as well as the code for both. Now, like I said, you can find my Teespring store, the Pillar to Post store, and Circle of Steel store, both in the description below. And then you have my Facebook merchandise, my Facebook author page, as well as if you want to send me a friend request on Facebook, those links are there for you as well in the description below. And then finally, my VidMe channel and my Patreon. You can support the channel for as low as $1 a month. Now, you don't need to, you don't have to, I'm not begging or anything. If you would want to support the channel, you can support Pillar to Post for as low as $1 a month, and you'll get all news, rumors, and interviews and such 12 hours before everyone else does on YouTube. And that will take place from Wednesday to Saturday. You get it those days earlier. YouTubers will get it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on the amount of news that is out there. Also, my Twitter link, or my Twitter handle, at Pillar to Post 77, is in the description below. And if you want to email me, if you're interested in Circle of Steel merchandise, such as this beanie right here, contact me at steeldragon1234@hotmail.com. Now we're finally done with that. So, we got my sponsors out of the way. I've got all my links out of the way for you. That is all in the description. You guys know this. Take advantage of it. If you want to contact me on Twitter or on email, please do so. Now, SmackDown tonight, I have to say I enjoyed it a lot more than I did Monday Night Raw last night. Monday Night Raw, I struggled through the first hour and a half or so, trying not to fall asleep. And I am going to take this beanie off. I did get to show you guys. It looks fantastic. Let me give you one more shot. Right there. Look at that embroidery. Beautiful work. Remember, my guy, he hooks me up all the time. He's a great guy. His name's Darren. He's at the End Zone here in Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. Great guy. So, before we get into the show, I want to talk about something I heard tonight by Becky Lynch. And I am so thankful one of the wrestlers finally said it in the open on live television. She went up to Daniel Bryan basically to make a point across about the whole Money in the Bank ladder match and about her career as it has been going here on SmackDown Live. She goes, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon like to say that SmackDown is the land of opportunity. But frankly, it seems like it's the land of giveaways. And yes, I totally agree with that statement. No one is earning shots at titles anymore. No one, absolutely no one, is working their asses off to make sure they are in that top echelon where they deserve to be. Why? All you have to simply do is go up to your GM, go up to your, the commissioner of SmackDown, and demand a title shot, and bam, you are in contention. You didn't have to defeat anyone to get there. You didn't have to earn your spot to get there. Look at Lana. Lana comes in tonight and says, I want another shot. Well, what happens? Naomi just gave her another shot. There is no working for your championships any longer on SmackDown. You call it the land of opportunities? I damn well straight agree with Becky Lynch tonight. It is the land of the giveaway. Complete BS. This is what WWE has come to. And yes, today I am sporting the blue. Because yes, the blue brand was more interesting and more exciting than Monday Night Raw was. And that is sad. Because frankly, they both should be doing a hell of a lot more than they are. So, at the top of the show, I should state the date. It is June 20th, 2017. And tonight was your SmackDown Live. And this is your SmackDown Report with your host, Pete Wall, here on Pillar to Post. But we started the show off with Natalya, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Tamina Snuka all backstage complaining about James Ellsworth ruining the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This past Sunday, I should say. Now, Daniel Bryan walks in, and listens to their issues before saying that he wanted to hear what Carmella and Ellsworth had to say before he made any decisions, and he would get back to talking with all of them very soon. So we had that going throughout the whole entire show. And we'll get into each of the women's points as we go into this. And let me tell you, by the way, for a woman as big-mouthed as Natalya is, she showed what kind of ass kisser she is tonight. But first, Carmella and Ellsworth, this whole intro about the women complaining was a way to segue into the opening of the show. Carmella and Ellsworth make their way to the ring. They have a huge amount of heat tonight from the fans, and well deserved. Now, James tried to hype them up for the first ever Miz Money in the Bank to more and very, very vocal boos. Now, Carmella said her name has been trending for the last 48 hours, but for all the wrong reasons. Well, she ranted about all the internet trolls that complained because she ruined a historic moment in WWE, or, her personal favorite, needed a man to win the match for her. To that end, she simply said she doesn't care, because she's been overlooked ever since she was the last woman drafted in 2016. Carmella says while everyone was out there to make history, she was taking steps to prepare for her future. And she damn sure isn't here for girl power. Now, she brings up the hypocrisy in the fans, talking about Kane helping Seth Rollins win Money in the Bank and Bray Wyatt getting involved in a match he wasn't even signed on for. Now, the bottom line is that she is the first ever Miz Money in the Bank, and there's not a damn thing anyone can do about it. Now, she made some good points. And, you know, I'm right there with everyone about the hypocrisy. Okay? WWE's toting this line about women power, empowering women. This is all about the women's revolution here in the WWE. So I'm right there with everyone when they talk about hypocrisy. Okay? And I made my points across on my Money in the Bank review. I don't agree with the decision they went with to have Ellsworth get involved and take down the briefcase. But here's my point. Yes, they have had prior interferences in Money in the Bank. But those interferences did not have the wrestler, the performer that interfered, touch that briefcase. If you will remember, you've had people help their friends or partners or whatever they are get to the top of that ladder so that way they could take that briefcase in their own hands. This was completely different. This was James Ellsworth knocking a woman off the ladder, then climbing it himself, physically touching and grabbing that briefcase, unhooking it, and then dropping it in the hands of Carmella. There is a big difference, okay? This is my point about the hypocrisy of WWE. You want to talk about women power, empowering your women, and showing that there is an equality from the women and the men. Okay? So you finally give the women a Money in the Bank ladder match. But you don't have a woman climb that ladder and remove that briefcase from the hook. You don't have a woman actually winning the match. You have a guy do the heavy lifting for the woman. That is wrong. Okay? My wife sets her mind to doing something. I'm not going to be able to stop her. Okay? And I wouldn't. She sets her mind to something. She wants to accomplish something. I am going to put my full backing behind her in order for her to accomplish it. But I'm not going to interfere. I'm going to encourage her. I'm going to wish her the best. And if she asks for help, I will give her advice. But that's as far as I will go. She has to complete the task on her own. And this is what should have been done in this ladder match. Now, he could have put Carmella on his shoulders and walked up the ladder like so many other wrestlers have done in the Money in the Bank ladder matches. And it would have looked better, okay? Carmella would have actually removed that briefcase herself. But you're still getting a man involved in a historic women's revolution type match where they are setting the bar for future women in the WWE. Complete BS. Complete hypocrisy. So let's move on, because I could talk about that for quite a while. Now, I also want to state that I also understand where Carmella's coming from with her statement of so many other wrestlers have interfered. There are no rules in Money in the Bank. That is correct. So she made a good point there, and you have to kind of back her for that as well, because it is a no DQ match. And I want to thank my wife for just bringing me my coffee. I do appreciate it, sweetheart. She made a good point with that, and I do have to agree, but I'm looking at it from a different angle. I'm looking at it from an analytical point. They want to push and shove down this women's equality bit down our throats. And then they are so hypocritical that they will use a man to finish off this historic women's match. That wasn't smart on their part, and I agree with the fans, the noise that they made tonight about what they did. Okay? Now, yes, this is all storyline based and everything, and it could have been done just for this kind of moment. So, we don't know that for sure. It could be the fans' support behind this women's revolution, or it could have just all been for a storyline. We'll find out. So, we cut backstage again where Daniel Bryan was watching the promo that just took place in the ring. Charlotte walks in and Bryan makes a comment about the doctors evaluating her neck. Not Carmella. Charlotte says the last thing she needs is for him to worry about her neck, because she gave him time to hear out Carmella and Ellsworth, and now it's time for him to do his job and take action. Now, Bryan says the match was technically no DQ, and Charlotte claims that should only apply to the people licensed to compete in the actual match. A very good point there as well. So, it looks like we're not going to get a resolution to this controversy at the beginning of the show. And I figured that right away. They were going to wait till near the end of the show. This would have given Carmella plenty of time to cash in that Money in the Bank and use it before anything could happen. This is why I think it was all a storyline to get this over. And I can see them actually giving her that chance again to be the winner of the Money in the Bank, and this time do it on her own. I can see that happening. So our first match of the night is Big E versus Jimmy Uso. And before I go on, I will need a drink, so I'm going to take care of that right now. Now, we got the first half of this match. Well, before we even got the match started, the Usos were talking about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Their title match against the Usos. And they said they thought they entered the Usos penitentiary. And in the end, the Usos became cowards. And they actually executed a prison break out of their very own prison. So the New Day basically calling out the Usos on their cowardice at this Money in the Bank. Now, JBL made a good point and said, they are heels. What else are you going to expect? They are the heels and they are champions. They must do everything possible to keep those titles around their waist, and they did that. Now, with all the shenanigans that were played out on Money in the Bank, though, it really ruined what was an excellent match. I was into that match in a big way, and they ruined the ending. They could have done it so many different ways. They chose not to. So, Big E versus Jimmy Uso, one-on-one with New Day present and Jey Uso on the outside as well. Now, the first half of this match took place mostly during the commercial that kicked off this match. So, unfortunate for us, but we did get the picture-in-picture, so we did get to see what went down. But it's never the same. You know, we get to see what's gone down, but it's not the same. Now, Big E threw the smaller Uso around with ease with a couple of suplexes, a couple of belly-to-belly suplexes. He went for a big splash, but ran into a Samoan drop for the from the tag team champion. Jimmy spent too much time concerned with the other New Day members at ringside, actually kicking Kofi Kingston in the face through the ropes, and got caught by Big E. Now the Usos recovered on the outside and tried to take their titles and bail again. This time, Kingston flew off the top. He used the stairs to catapult himself at Jey Uso, taking Jey out, and they rolled Jimmy back into the ring, and he walked right into the big ending. So your winner of the match, Big E from the New Day. Not a very exciting match. The beginning being cut out by the commercial really didn't help it, and it's just continuing this feud. And rightfully so, it needs to be continued, because if the New Day would have won at Money in the Bank this Sunday, I know there's a lot of their fans, they would have been happy for it, but it just wouldn't have made sense. Having this strung out through the weeks until the next pay-per-view, and then maybe having the titles change hands, that would look a lot better for the New Day than them just coming out, winning it right out, and then we're all bored of them all over again. So we get a feud. I like it. Now, Daniel Bryan is backstage once again on the phone with Shane McMahon this time, talking about the Money in the Bank controversy. Natalya and Tamina Snuka walk into his office. Natalya interrupts his phone call, so Daniel Bryan ends up asking Shane McMahon if he can hold on for a minute. Now, Natalya rambles about her cats, and it is a really bad promo on her part, clearly kissing the ass of the general manager for what seems like a decade. You know, just watching it was horrid. Thankfully, Tamina Snuka stepped in and shut her up and demands that Bryan do something about Carmella before she puts her boot in Carmella's mouth. Excellently said. She shut up Natalya, and she made her point and got the hell out of there. I liked it. What Natalia did for everything she's been doing lately, the heel tactics she's been using, the attitude she's been bringing, and to go back to talking about her cats that has no bearing on SmackDown whatsoever was garbage. I don't know if they let her have free reign on what she says, but by God, they need to rein her in. Okay? I can accept her doing the ass-kissing bit she's trying to suck up, so that way Daniel Bryan leans more towards the other women's complaints rather than listening to Carmella. But to bring in your cats, no. And comparing them to Daniel Bryan's newly born baby, that was ridiculous. Oh, I understand that, you've probably been having late nights, sleepless nights because of your baby girl. But I've been doing the same thing because my cats aren't sleeping and blah, blah, blah. I could not believe that. Unreal and disrespectful. Comparing your cat to a baby child. Man, that woman needed a smack tonight. I did like Tamina's promo. It was short, sweet, to the point, and very, very blunt. So we get another backstage segment. Lana approaches Naomi while Naomi is talking about her match at Money in the Bank and goes on to talk about the women in the ladder match, that she doesn't care who it is or what's going to happen tonight. She's ready for them. She is ready to make everyone feel the glow. Well, Lana approaches from out of nowhere and demands that she is given a rematch for the title. Naomi calls her thirsty. Well, if she isn't thirsty, if she isn't competitive, if she doesn't have that hunger to be the champion, then I don't know what's her problem, okay? She needs to have that attitude. She needs to be thirsty to be the top woman. Right now, though, in my point of view, she doesn't deserve it. And goes on to say that she beat her fair and square at Money in the Bank, but because she is a fighting champion, she'll give her yet another pointless, meaningless title bout next week on SmackDown. And I say this because Lana had her shot. She hadn't earned it yet. Like I said, this is the land of giveaways. Becky Lynch said it best herself tonight. This is the land of giveaways, and it is affecting her career. And this here affects a lot of the women's career. Lana getting a title shot just because she's not welcomed in the Money in the Bank ladder match, BS. Okay? Naomi should be sitting there relaxing, waiting for what's going to be the outcome of the results Bryan has for her tonight, about who will be the Money in the Bank winner. Is it going to be Carmella, or is he going to remove the briefcase from her? At this point, we don't know. But she's making, she's cashing checks. She has yet been able to, she's been writing checks. She has yet to be able to cash. In that match, they made it look like Lana almost had the upset victory. She lost very close match. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't even a good match. And then she's giving another opportunity. By God, WWE Creative needs to get their heads from their keisters and start doing their job and actually paying attention to what a wrestling company is supposed to provide the fans. Now, we get another segment here, and this time it's a pre-recorded interview from Randy Orton. He talks about his loss to Jinder Mahal at Money in the Bank. He says that he may have made mistakes, but he saw the Singh brothers put their hands on his father, and he reacted to it. But now, because of that, he's ready to do everything and anything he has in order to get his hands on them and win back the WWE Championship. Now he gives the champion a warning, and he says this, that things between them are far, far from over. Are we going to see Randy Orton later on tonight or not? I don't know. But Jinder Mahal is scheduled to fight Luke Harper tonight. So, anything is possible. When it comes to Randy Orton, nothing is ever sure what he's going to do. Now, the next match, we finally get our second bout of the evening, and it is a great one. At first, I was kind of, damn, we've already seen this match. And we know they've been doing this on the dark matches during the ending and between SmackDown and 205 Live. But these guys put on a show for us tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura, yes, he is being utilized a little bit too much on SmackDown. But Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler in a clinic of a match. I do want to stress that. It was a clinic. These guys brutalized each other's bodies. Okay? And what they went through at Money in the Bank, and they wrestled as good as they did tonight, you cannot take anything away from what these guys do to themselves and then still perform 48 hours later for us. Okay? This is what wrestling's about. And they did a great job giving us what we wanted to see. And that was an excellently well done match. So they start things off with a good back and forth exchange, grappling on the mat and trading holds. Now Ziggler tries to take a cheap shot, but Nakamura avoids it and fires up, taking him to the corner and hitting the good vibrations. Now Ziggler steps out of the way, avoiding a splash in the corner, then plants the artist into the second turnbuckle and hits him with a dropkick. Yes, I did use the reference, the artist. Come on, they are using it, so I kind of have to as a podcaster. Now from there, the show-off slows things down with rest holds as we cut to a commercial break. Rest holds are headlocks, chin locks, stuff like that. It is all to give each other a little bit of a break, especially when a commercial is coming up. It is utilized a little bit too much these days. Now after the break, Ziggler is still in control, but Nakamura fights back out of a hold and hits a huge kick out of nowhere to take both guys down for a little bit. Now Dolph is back up and just slams his opponent's head into the mat, then spends too much time mocking him and gets caught with a stiff knee to the gut. Now Shinsuke follows up with a series of drop kicks, his signature one-legged running drop kick. Kind of reminded me of the Claymore or the Yakuza kick that Drew McIntyre uses. Now he puts Ziggler on the top rope and gives him the running high knee for 2. It's Nakamura who slows things down this time, keeping his opponent on the mat and firing off with short knees to the head before trying to choke him out with a front headlock. He hits a facebuster and sets up for the Kinshasa, but misses, and Ziggler hits him with the Famouser for a near fall. Now Dolph tries a super kick but gets caught in the cross armbar. Nakamura wrenches down on the move, keeping the show off from getting to the ropes. But Ziggler rakes him in the eyes to break the hold, and Nakamura with an exploder suplex, and he again sets up for the Kinshasa. But Dolph avoids it once again and hits the zigzag out of nowhere. Now we get a 1-2, Nakamura kicks out, and Ziggler immediately goes into a chokehold, and Shinsuke fades slowly. Now Nakamura rallies back and plants Ziggler with a wicked kick to the back of the head. It was basically a Kinshasa to the back of the head. Backs up into the corner and connects with a brutal and viciously placed Kinshasa to pick up the win. Your winner of a very excellently well-performed match, Shinsuke Nakamura. Did you have any doubt? I didn't. But it was a good back and forth match. I did love it. Dolph Ziggler, what he does in that ring with Nakamura, man, he deserves a lot of credit for it. And because of that, he should be in higher rankings and standings with the WWE. I don't know. I don't know what their problem is with Dolph, but he deserves a little bit more than what they give him. See, it's a blue brand. I got my blue shirt on, and I've got my blue coffee cup. Also, I should have brought down my other beanie, the exact same style, but it is the blue embroidery instead of the red and white. Should have worn that tonight since it was SmackDown Live. Get another segment with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn are backstage talking about how awesome his sunset flip off the ladder was on Sunday. Now Bryan tells him he's in action next week against Baron Corbin. That's when Becky Lynch walks in and cuts an impassioned promo, which I spoke about earlier, how she says that this is supposed to be the land of opportunity, but all she's seeing is the land of the giveaway. It's affecting her career, it's affecting her drive, it's affecting every opportunity she thinks she has earned, and instead somebody else is going for that and getting that opportunity because they simply ask and beg for it. I agreed fully with her promo today. She cut a very good promo. Now, Sami Zayn also had a little bit of praise for Becky Lynch for her role in the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and before he walked out. But this is all about Becky Lynch making a point about how her career has been on the decline since SmackDown started giving away all these opportunities instead of making people earn it. Up next, United States Champion Kevin Owens comes out and says that the only reason he didn't win Money in the Bank was because of all the other competitors conspiring against him. He said he may have not won, but he's still here, and he's still unbroken, and he's still the new face of America. Now, when he says unbroken, I'm wondering a little bit, is this because of the tweets we've been seeing from Matt Hardy on Twitter, or is it because he is not damaged or injured like all the rumors stated? He did not look too much hurt tonight. He did not look like he took too much of a beating. He did. He took some very violent moves that required him to get help to the locker room at the end of Money in the Bank. But he is not on the injured list, which is good to see. Now, Owens issues an open challenge to anyone from Dayton, Ohio, and AJ Styles comes out to answer the call. Now, the champion correctly points out that Styles is from Georgia and he's already had too many chances. American Alpha's music kicks in, and I was very shocked. Chad Gable comes out. Now, Owens has had enough of this, he says, and screams that Gable isn't from Dayton either. Gable goes on to say that he moved to Dayton this very morning, and Styles hilariously backs him up, saying he knows where his new home is and tells the referee to ring the bell. All to Kevin Owens' disappointment and frustration. So, we get a United States Championship match, an open challenge from Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable. Now, I want to say this about the match. Chad Gable, damn, he put on a show today. He showed he could actually make it as a singles competitor as well as part of American Alpha. I don't know what the hell SmackDown has a problem with American Alpha. They have been in the back so long. I'm surprised I remembered Chad Gable's name, or that American Alpha was still employed with WWE anymore. And instead of them getting a tag team match tonight, no. We get a singles match with American Alpha's Chad Gable. Now, I have no problem with Chad Gable going after the American title because, damn, the guy can wrestle. He is a small man, but he is a tough as nails strong man. And he's got credits to prove what he can do in that ring. So Owens is freaking out going after Styles, and Gable catches him with a trio of awesome looking belly to back suplexes. Then the champion rolls to the floor to catch his breath as we go to our first commercial break. Now, during the break, Owens caught the challenger out of and threw him into the barricade over and over again. When they come back, and the two were fighting on the top rope as Owens was looking for a superplex, but settled for just throwing him hard to the mat. Now, Gable countered and countered the pop-up powerbomb into a roll-up for a near fall. He got 2 3/4 of a count. And KO went right after him with kicks and elbows to keep him down on the mat. Now the challenger fights back with a nice suplex and comes off the rope with a crossbody for another 2 count. Owens throws him hard into the corner post, but came up empty on the running cannonball. And Gable throws him with a huge German suplex. The champion caught him coming off the ropes with a pop-up powerbomb, and the U.S. title, the new face of America, Kevin Owens, retains his title. pop-up power bomb, once again, is the demise of his competitor. So, I'm going to take another swallow here, and then we'll move right on. I'm going to say, even though Chad Gable impressed me, this match could have been done a lot better. It wasn't too bad, okay? I enjoyed the match for what it was. I think it could have been done a lot better, and I also think American Alpha should be being used a lot more than just in a singles action. In how many months now have we not seen American Alpha? Give me a break, people. So backstage, Daniel Bryan is watching the Battle Royal from 2016 where Zack Ryder won to give his team a shot at the tag team titles. Now, Ryder says that he sacrificed his body and spent 6 months injured and wants the shot they were never allowed to take. Now, Bryan says the tag division has changed too much since then, but if they can defeat the Usos next week, they'll be the next in line for a title shot. How does this make sense? Okay? Now, I understand where Zack Ryder's coming from. He comes back from a 6-month-long injury. He meets his former tag team partner in the locker room and says, "Bro, we have unfinished business to take care of. Let the Hype Bros come back." So the Hype Bros come back for Money in the Bank. But they don't go after the champions. They go after the Colognes. How does that make sense? Now, they want to say, well, we earned our title shot, rightfully so. Yes, they were number one contenders when Zack Ryder went out on injury. But you take Finn Balor's predicament as well. He was the Universal Champion, the very first Universal Champion of Raw. Had to relinquish that title, and he comes back. He hasn't even gotten a shot at the title yet. Now, that is because they're working on storylines to bring him into that bout. But, regardless, he was an actual champion. You were the number one tag team to go up against the champions. You got injured, and now, 6 months later, you want your shot. Now, I kind of agree with them. They already did earn their spot. And Daniel Bryan stating that the tag team division has changed a lot. Oh, yeah, it's changed. You're not even using half your tag team roster. Give me a break. That is BS right there. So, we head into the final quarter of the show. General Manager Daniel Bryan makes his way out to the ring to get a great standing ovation from the fans. He says he's happy to be back, but wishes it was under better circumstances. Now, Bryan says he's been with Shane McMahon and the board of directors trying to figure out what to do about this women's Money in the Bank controversy, and says he was instructed to keep his emotions out of the decision-making and stick to the WWE rulebook. He brings out all 5 women that were in that ladder match this past Sunday, and after all the ladies make their way to the ring, Bryan says he listened to the opinions of all the women, and he's come to a decision. He says Money in the Bank matches are no DQ, and there's nothing in the rule book that says someone else can't climb the ladder and give it to someone else. It's the first woman who holds the briefcase that is the winner. He brings up that there has been outside interference in previous Money in the Bank matches, but they are in uncharted territory. Now, James Ellsworth cuts him off at this point and tells him to hurry up and make a decision, because apparently being at home raising terrible little hippie vegan babies has played with his head. And I could have ripped the man's head off for saying something like that as well. You never attack a man's family. Now, I don't know if that was meant to take place there, but Daniel Bryan looked legit pissed. Now, Bryan fires back and tells Ellsworth that if he ever mentions his baby girl again, he'll punch him in the face so fast and hard he won't be able to breathe, and he'll fire him on the spot. This gave him a huge pop from the fans. Believe me, that arena, I wouldn't have not wanted to be there because it would have been loud. Now, Carmella is, of course, offended and asked Bryan who he thinks he is talking to, who he thinks he is talking to them that way. All the women go around cutting each other off and making fun of the way Ellsworth looks and how they're going to make each other look like Ellsworth. Now, Bryan tells them all to stop because he's made a decision. He says that Carmella made history by becoming the first woman to win the Money in the Bank. And she'll be the first woman to hand over the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bryan takes the briefcase and announces that next week there will be a redo of Money in the Bank ladder match between all 5 women. I loved that decision. I loved it. Now, Bryan leaves with the briefcase and all the women immediately start brawling. Natalya and Tamina Snuka get thrown from the ring and Charlotte lays out Carmella with natural selection. Becky Lynch puts on her disarmor and Carmella flails around crying and screaming as James Ellsworth freaks out from the outside. Showed himself to be a huge bitch tonight. Now, what I take away from this, okay, I do like the decision. But did they have to play it out this way to begin with? Now, you wanted to make history at the pay-per-view, where it should have been made. But now you're going to have a Money in the Bank ladder match on SmackDown that doesn't carry the same significance as it would have on Money in the Bank this past Sunday. How does that make sense? Okay? You could have done something else here. You could have, if something could have been done that night at Money in the Bank. Okay, the referees could have been told, put that briefcase back on the hook. Let's restart this bitch because that was completely wrong. This is a historical moment for the women, not for some no-chin reject to climb the ladder, put his hands on that briefcase, and basically doing the job that the women were supposed to do. That was intolerable. That was disrespectful to us, the fans, and it was hypocritical. So we get Money in the Bank next week. I think it'll be a good match. I hope I see a little bit less of the nervousness that I seen at Money in the Bank with the women and see a little bit more passion and willingness to use those ladders and climb that ladder and do stuff that they didn't do at Money in the Bank or didn't get a chance to. So we go into our final match of the night. Jinder Mahal, your SmackDown Heavyweight Champion, and he's going one-on-one with Luke Harper. Now, I want to say this. I wasn't a fan of this match. For one, Luke Harper hasn't been seen for quite some time, and he actually looked like he had ring rust today. He wasn't moving the way he usually does. Yes, we've seen a very, very well done drop kick from him. But, I mean, the whole entire match, he just looked off. He looked like he wasn't, that rust that occurs when you got to sit on the sidelines for so long, and he's been sitting on the sidelines for too long. And it showed tonight. It wasn't a match I thought it could be. And what the hell is up with Jinder Mahal, the SmackDown champion, coming out before his challenger? The challenger always comes out first. The champion, the figurehead of your brand, is supposed to have that final entrance, that spot that signifies that he is the face of your brand and the champion. And he comes out first, and this is not the first time. It didn't make sense to me. So, the match is already underway after we come back from the final commercial break of the night. The champion was on the floor being checked on by the Singh brothers as Harper went to fly between the ropes, and Jinder sacrificed one of his minions to take the blow for him. Now, from there, Jinder took full control, slowing things down with holds and hard slams in the middle of the ring. Now he dropped some knees in the ropes until the referee backs him off, and then went right back into the holds on the mat. Then eventually Harper fires up and throws some rolling elbows, a few more elbows from the apron, and a rolling back fist to send the champion reeling. Now Harper connects with a black hole slam for 2 count, then tries to head to the top rope, but gets caught climbing. Mahal goes on the hunt and connects with a superplex, sending both men crashing to the mat. Now we get Baron Corbin, the men's Money in the Bank winner, Mr. Money in the Bank. His music hits and he comes out and a full distraction on Jinder Mahal. This is all for a distraction, letting Jinder Mahal know Baron Corbin, the lone wolf of the WWE, is on the hunt. Now Corbin walks around ringside just to get inside the champion's head and then just leaves. He just backs his way up the ring. Harper rolls up Jinder from behind and almost picks up the win. He nails a big super kick but gets caught going after the Singh brothers, and the champion connects with the Colossus to pick up the win. Your winner and champion, Jinder Mahal. So, Baron Corbin making his appearance known, letting everyone know, I am Mr. Money in the Bank. Letting the champion know, you've just been warned. I'm coming for you. The time is nigh. And I want to see that happen. I want to see Baron Corbin at the top of the heap here on SmackDown in a big way. This guy has been making waves since he started on the main roster, and we have seen him improve and improve and improve, and he's getting better all the time. When he becomes the new champion after cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase, it is going to be a sight that I want to witness. So after Jinder Mahal wins and Baron Corbin makes his exit, Randy Orton's music hits, and the Viper is here tonight on SmackDown. The Singh brothers go after him, but Orton easily dispatches of them, rolling into the ring and taking down Mahal in a crazy flurry of rights and lefts. Jinder tries to escape through the crowd, but Orton pulls him back to ringside and drops him with the Hangman's DDT off the barricade. He rolls the champion back into the ring looking for the RKO, but the Singh brothers attack him once again. Orton drops both of them with an RKO each, but Jinder Mahal escapes through the crowd while he was distracted. Now, we got a RKO to nowhere to one of the Singh brothers, and the other one dives off the top rope, and he gets hit with an RKO as well. Kind of looked more like a stunner, but still was executed. Jinder Mahal saved himself from a bit of pain. So I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight for my SmackDown report here on Pillar to Post. Remember, audibletrial.com/Pillar to Post, and use that code for your Grapple merch. Now their Grapple box for Elite will be coming soon, and I will be making that my very first order. I want to do an unboxing for them here on the channel. So I'm just waiting for news for that number 4 box to be available, and I will be jumping all over that. And I will do the unveiling and unboxing right here on Pillar to Post. Thank you all for joining me. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber as of yet, hit that subscribe button and that little bell that gives you all the notifications for when I do my uploads, as well as my live streams. And let's talk about tomorrow. It's been requested, so I'm going to do it. Too many of the live viewers for my fantasy booking for SmackDown and Raw have been asking me to do a career mode. I wasn't planning on doing it because so many have done it already, but it will begin tomorrow, Wednesday, and I'm going to try for 4 p.m. If I'm not there at 4, I'll be there between 4 and 5. So, have a good night all. I thank you all for joining me. This has been Pillar to Post. As always, I am your host, Pete Wall. Take it easy, folks.